sophomore class, SGA, has recently been working on fundraisers to raise money for our school events like prom and homecoming. We have raised around $75 with our Holiday Graham fundraiser before break, and we are working on fundraisers for the future. On February 14, we will be selling at the concession stands during the basketball game. We also have a spaghetti dinner on March 4 and a Buffalo Wild Wings fundraiser night on March 22nd. All of the money that we raise is for the benefit of the entire school, so please be sure to come out and support your 10th grade class. Also, follow us for updates on our Instagram, @YHigh Class of 2019, for more details.
Hello, Wycomico High School students. I'm Mr. Stearman, your athletic director, here to remind you that spring sports are rapidly approaching on Wednesday, March 1st. For those of you interested in playing a spring sport, you need to remember a couple things. Number one, you need to be eligible based on having a 2.0 or higher. Secondly, you need to have a valid physical on file. If you've played a fall or winter sport, the same physical will be good for spring sports. If you have not done your physical yet, you want to get that done as soon as possible because you will not be allowed to try out without one. Also, you need to be clear of any sort of fines. If you played a fall or winter sport and have a fine outstanding, you will not be allowed to try out until you cover those costs. The following sports are available for you: baseball, softball, boys lacrosse, girls lacrosse, tennis, that's boys and girls, track and field, bocce are available for you this spring. And lastly, once you make a roster, please remember that we have an activity participation fee. Once you're placed on a roster, there's a participation fee for you to be a member of the team. Once you're on our team, it is very important to understand that once you're on a roster, as of the first official game day, you cannot switch rosters. In going back to the activity fee, if you separate from the team for any reason, there are no refunds. I hope to see all of you on the fields and on the courts this spring. Have a wonderful remainder of your school year.
Hello, my name is Mr. Taylor. I'm a student advisor here at Y High. With the guidance department. I do have my certification in guidance and have been a guidance counselor in Wycomico County before, but my position here at Y High is student advisor. You can find me in C intersection, and I kind of think of my job as the counselor out in the buildings. So if you have any problems, just come on down to see me. A good idea to get your teacher to call down first to see if I'm with another student or if I'm out in the building somewhere. And please make sure you bring a pass or have a note wherever you're going, to my office or anywhere else in the school. You will see me in the hallways a lot. I will stop you and ask you where your pass is, so get used to that. I'm not harping on you, but that's what we're supposed to do. So you will see me doing that when you see me out in the hallway. Please remember when you come through the buildings that you need hats and hoods off, and you need your earbuds out. Earbuds should not be seen only at lunchtime. They should be away for the rest of the day, and I will harp on you on that. You can come to me about any academic troubles you have. I can look up your grades with you. We can look up your missing assignments. I do that all the time for our students. I do not handle schedule changes, so don't even ask me about that. That is the guidance department up in the office, so you need to handle that up there with them. And I can't do anything about your teacher. That's something you're going to have to handle with them. If we need to have a mediation session with them, maybe we can get the teacher down and you down in my office and we'll talk all together, but I'm not the one that can fix your teacher. I do have some emergency school supplies in my office. If you need pencils, pens, papers, some notebooks, and I also have some emergency clothes and coats in my office. I can also help you with issues with other students, but I don't have a magic wand. I'm not going to fix it just because you come in that you have a problem with some other student. I'm not going to be able to fix it without your help. The best way to fix that is to get the students together and talk in my office. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't want to do that and are reluctant to have the other person in my office, but it really can't get done without everybody's cooperation. And finally, if you need anything else from me, any personal issues, things like that, please stop by and talk to me. I'll try to help you out in any way I can. Thank you, and have a great rest of the school year.
Hello, I'm Mr. Connor, the testing coordinator. Testing requirements for graduation are based on the year you entered high school. You must complete all of your tests in order to graduate. The current tests are the biology HSA and the government HSA. Students enrolled in English 10 will also take the English Language Arts 10 part, and students enrolled in Algebra 1 or Algebra 2 will take the Algebra part. This is the first year students are being required to pass the PARCC assessments to graduate. If you don't pass your Algebra 1 or English 10 PARCC assessment in the spring, you will have additional coursework to complete next school year. That coursework takes a minimum of about 60 hours to complete. After completing the extra coursework, you should know that you would also be required to retake the assessment. For that reason, it's extremely important that you do everything in your power to complete all of your testing requirements the first time you test. Additionally, once you meet your requirements, you become eligible for things like travel periods, exam exemption, parking permits, and more. Here at Y-High, we have a ton of resources available to support you in preparing for testing, including answering sample test questions online, interactive support after school, and the Tribe After School program. Feel free to stop by my office in the Media Center anytime to check your progress on testing requirements, to have a face-to-face chat about what requirements you need to complete for testing. Remember to be proactive and do everything that you need to do now in order to ensure that you're ready to graduate.
Good morning, class of 2019. This is Mr. Satchel. I'm coming to you for your class address. I have a few things that I need to let you know. First, it's not just me. We have 3 other counselors that you can see during your time here at Y-High. We have Mr. Render, who is our awesome male counselor. We also have Mrs. Goslin. She runs grades H through O. We have Mrs. Giordano, also known as Miss G, and she has letters A through G, okay? As you're moving towards your junior year, you need to know that every course that you're currently in, you need to make sure that you do well, okay? Because we need you to earn every credit, all right? In addition to that, you want to start thinking about what your plan is after high school. Maybe you're thinking about the military, college, trade school, whatever it is, you want to make sure that you have a plan. You also should be looking at your involvement. Get involved in the community. You will need to meet 75 community service learning hours, okay, by the end of your senior year. And so this is a great time to start thinking about how you can earn those hours. Moving on to graduation requirements. As you all know, you will need 21 credits to graduate, okay? As I just mentioned, you will also need your 75 service learning hours. If you're thinking about college, specifically in the state of Maryland, the Maryland University system actually requires that every high school student earn 4 math credits. So you want to make sure that you're taking your math as well as sciences and 4 language courses. This is going to make you more marketable as you move towards applying to college. Additionally, challenge yourself academically. Take AP courses, honors courses. Enhance your academic experience. Colleges love to see that you are challenging yourself academically in the classroom. If you're thinking about 3 and out, here's a few things that you need to remember, okay? 1, at the end of your sophomore year, you want to have at least a 2.5 overall GPA. You also will need to meet the 75 learning hours by the end of your junior year. At the end of your sophomore year, you have to earn 14 credits and successfully complete all 4 of your English courses by the end of your junior year. The PARCC and HSA assessments also have to be met by the end of your junior year. In addition to that, you will have to submit a letter to Mr. Brady by May 1st, signed by your parents, indicating that you would like to pursue 3 and out, as well as your plan for your future. In addition to those requirements, you will see here a list of all the courses that you have to complete in order to meet the requirements for graduation. All right, sophomores, that's it. That's all I have for you today. We wish you the best as you finish up your sophomore year, move into your junior year. For those, again, who are thinking about 3 and out, please see your guidance counselor as soon as possible so that we can go through the requirements with you, okay? And if you just want to stop in and say hi to Mr. Satchel, I actually would really enjoy that. So come on and stop by the guidance office and tell us hello.
Hello, class of 2019. In case you have not had the opportunity to speak with me, I'm Mr. Green. I want to talk about the year and how it's been going to this point and reiterate some important ideas as we start the second half of the year. First thing I want to talk about is grades. Now that the first semester is done, it's time to focus on the second semester. We are in the third quarter, and just remember that if you have failed a class the first 2 terms and you fail the third quarter, you automatically fail that class for the year. So keep that in mind as we continue through the year. GPA, I want to talk about GPA. I looked at last year's GPA and compared to this year's GPA from last year at this point to this year at this point when you were 9th graders. Right now that your GPA overall as a class has gone up slightly. Good job, continue to work, continue to focus on improving that. Achievement. One way to do better and increase your GPA is to be on time, do all your work, ask for help, stay focused on the ultimate goal, which is graduating, and maintain at least a 2.0. Testing. This is very important as 10th graders. Testing will happen this year at some point in the end of April, early May. Park. This is the first year that Park counts for you towards graduation. Please keep that in mind. It's a very important idea. You would not graduate if you do not pass Park. For most of you, you'll be taking English Park. For some of you, you'll be taking English and Algebra 1 Park. Please remember, it does count for graduation. If you have not taken it and this is your first time taking it, it will count towards graduation. What impact does that have on you? It impacts you in terms of you graduating. It impacts you in terms of privileges that we allow you to have, including leaving early and late arrival. As 10th graders going into 11th grade, that may be an option for you next year. And definitely it's an option for you in your senior year. Let's talk about behavior. Behavior. Referrals are down from last year, almost 200. That's a really good number. Let's continue to work on this. Suspensions. Suspensions from last year compared to this year when you were 9th graders are about the same. We can do better. Please continue to work on that. I want to talk about Tribe Pride. I want to reiterate the idea of respect, responsibility, and integrity. This includes this idea in the areas of the classroom, the hallways, the cafeteria, and also sporting events. Please keep that in mind as we continue through the year. A couple other ideas I want to talk about in terms of behavior. Let's continue to think about things that we're doing in the hallway. This includes the language. Please make sure you're using appropriate language, not just in the hallways, but through the entire building. Please remember that electronics are only supposed to be out during the change of classes, during lunch, and if you're using them for instructional purposes in the classroom. Remember, latenesses are a big deal. Please try to work on getting to class, getting to school on time. And finally, dress code. Please remember to follow the dress code as it's written in the Wicomico County Code of Conduct. The next idea I want to talk about is Strive for 5. Please try from this point forward, we're almost halfway through the year, please work on missing fewer than 5 days of school for the remainder of the year. Get out of your comfort zone. This is an idea that we presented in the beginning of the year. We're still talking about it. We're still looking towards it. Try something new. Getting out of your comfort zone means trying a new course. Maybe next year, scheduling will be coming up soon for next year. Think about taking a new course for your junior year. Think about joining a new club. Think about going out and trying out for a new sport. Think about meeting and talking to new people in school. Get out of your comfort zone. And finally, I want to talk about PBIS. Positive Behavioral Intervention and Support. Our next incentive will be February 17th. In order to go to that, you have to have at least a 2.75 and no referrals, or a 20% growth from your first term GPA. Thank you and have a good rest of the year.
Welcome there, sophomores. I'm enjoying this too much. All All right.